All right, so you guys know I've been following this LIV Golf thing closely. LIV Golf is basically a Saudi Arabian golf league. It's a Saudi Arabian premier golf league where they're trying to take all of the best players from the PGA Tour, pay them a colossal amount of money, and do kind of a coup of the PGA Tour and make LIV Golf the #1 tour in the world. Now, look, the PGA Tour has some problems. We've discussed them before. But whatever the problems are on the PGA Tour are nothing in comparison to a literal genocidal regime and taking money directly from them. So they had the first LIV Golf event recently, and these were the press conferences beforehand where the press got to ask the players questions. Now, I'm very happy that this event was in the UK. Why? Because British media is way better than US media. And British media really grilled some of these guys. So here you're going to have some questions for Phil Mickelson. I want you to take note of how uncomfortable he is and how terrible his answers are. And then I'm going to show you an amazing video of other players being asked a question and how they just completely faceplant and make total asses of themselves and out themselves as completely immoral and unethical actors. So let's watch.
Hi, Phil. Rob Jones, Sky Sports. You said something in a Sports Illustrated interview, and you just said it again this morning. What happened to Jamal Khashoggi is awful, but I've seen the game of golf, the good that the game of golf has done throughout history. No matter how successful this tournament could ever be, it can't counteract someone being murdered, can it?
Look at his face! Phil, go ahead. Tell us your thoughts, man. What are your thoughts on taking money from murderous, genocidal maniacs?
Nobody here condones human rights violations.
Sure you do. Sure you do. You just took $200 million from people currently doing a genocide. Of course you do. This is like if in 1938 you're like, look, man, nobody condemns anti-Semitism. Did I take $200 million from Goebbels and Hitler? Yes. But you assuming that means I support anti-Semitism? What leap of logic, bro? What a stretch.
And nobody's trying to make up for anything.
Come on, man. Look, these guys are not used to tough questions. And so when they get asked tough questions, like his brain is short-circuiting. He doesn't know how to answer because deep down he knows there are no good answers. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing here.
You said those two statements, one after the other, which sort of implies that you feel that one can sort of make up for the other, and one of our colleagues used the phrase sportswashing, and that surely is exactly what that's an attempt to do.
British media is awesome sometimes.
There are...
His face!
The game of golf, I've seen unify and bring people together, and...
I'm a golfer. I love golf. Don't give me this bullshit about, I had to take $200 million from people doing a genocide, the people who funded 9/11, because, I believe in, uniting and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
I love that I'm a part of this sport. I love that this game has given me so much. And
given you so much that you apparently turned around and blew gambling. And there were reports that he's roughly $40 million in debt, which is why he felt compelled to take this $200 million.
It is fun for me to give back and to bring this game on throughout the world on a global scale. And
you're so benevolent, bro. You're so altruistic. Thank you so much.
Opportunities that LIV Golf provides. And I don't know how else I can say it. I don't condone human rights violations. Nobody here does. I don't know how else to say it any more assertively.
Okay, great. Now, let's go to Ian Poulter and Lee Westwood. This is Lee Westwood here. This is Ian Poulter here. These guys are longtime veterans, not only on the PGA Tour, but also on what used to be called the European Tour. And, man, this is somehow even worse than the Phil video you just saw. This is astonishing.
Add something on the moral dimension as well, as independent contractors. Is there anywhere, Lee and Ian, is there anywhere in the world you wouldn't play? If Vladimir Putin had a tournament, would you play there?
If Vladimir Putin had a tournament, would you play there? Are there no moral lines? Are there none?
That's speculation. Not even going to comment on speculation.
So, just in a generality, is there anywhere you wouldn't play on a moral basis? If the money was right, is there anywhere you wouldn't play?
I don't need to answer that question.
Come on, bro. You guys are so pathetic. You're so pathetic. Now understand, Lee Westwood and Ian Poulter are not some struggling up-and-coming tour players who can't pay the bills and can't even afford the fucking hotel when they go and play. They're not. They are wealthy individuals. They've had phenomenal careers, and they've been at it for 2 or 3 decades. And they still took the money. They still took the money. And you can see how much they really thought this through and took the issue seriously. Should I take money from the people who funded 9/11 and the people who are currently doing a genocide in Yemen and the people who behead people in the public square for witchcraft and apostasy and sorcery? The people who murdered Jamal Khashoggi? This is a moral conundrum I need to sit down and think about. They didn't even think about it. They're just like, money. Me like money. I'll take it. You're already rich, bro. You're already rich. Would I play in Vladimir Putin's tournament? That's speculation. That's a hypothetical. I don't need to answer that question. Wow. They're so not used to getting tough questions. And this is not a thoughtful person who doesn't care about morals and ethics. And he's just outing himself to the world as a total scumbag.
Right?
I don't need to answer that question.
Lee, you want to answer it? Would you,
Look at how defensive. They're so defensive because I think deep down they know how wrong they are. Because the whole point of sportswashing is take the money, and that allows them... The fact that they're giving everybody entertainment, the Saudi government is, the fact that they're funding all these various sports, allows them to keep being a terrible, brutal, human rights abusing regime. It allows them to keep doing that. So they don't have to clean up their act. And they just give people what they want in terms of entertainment, and so you can sort of deflect and obfuscate and say, oh, these people aren't, primitive or backwards or anything. I mean, look, they give us all of the wonderful sports that we love. That's the whole point of it. It's not like a lot of people have tried to make the argument like, oh, no, they're trying to change, which is why we're doing this. So they're giving us the money because they're trying to change and modernize, and so they want to stop doing all those terrible things. That's why I'm on board with this. That's total bullshit. The exact opposite is how it functions.
You played in apartheid South Africa, for example?
Well, you're just asking us to answer a hypothetical question there, which...
Well, they're moral questions, aren't they?
Answer a question on that.
Look at the body language, look at the face, look at the defiance. Look at this. They know they're wrong. They know they're wrong. Look at them. Look at them. Fucking pathetic, man. Disgusting. Golf has a bad reputation as like the elitist sport. By the way, it wasn't always the elitist sport. There was a time where it was much more working class. Now, still to this day, there's a lot of working class people who play golf. But as somebody who is a golfer, and I love golf, and I try to play every single week, I look at this and it's shameful and it's embarrassing. Do you want it to be that 20 years from now, Saudi Arabia just owns the entire sport of golf? It's linked at the hip with a genocidal regime, and that's how everybody thinks of it when they think of golf. Is that what you want to do? And they do this bullshit about we're trying to grow the game or whatever. My ass cheeks, you're trying to get paid.
Next question.
Oh, come on, man. Pathetic. Pathetic. Everybody who sells out and takes this check is a pathetic human being. And look, I'm afraid that in the long run, they're all going to do it. I am, because I do think when you have infinite money, money talks. And even a lot of the guys who are taking a strong moral stand right now, like Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy, I hope they stand strong, man, because this tour is just, it's abysmal. The winner got $4 million for their shitty event where the average world ranking was like 350 or some shit like that. Rory just won in Canada on the PGA Tour, and I think maybe he won like $1 million. So they're offering like 4 times the prize money, and it's guaranteed money, whereas on the PGA Tour it's not. You have to make the cut to make any money, so half the field makes nothing. Now, I would change that. I think the people, if they're playing in the event, they should make money, even if it's just a little bit to cover the hotel and the bills or whatever when you do it. So the PGA Tour does need to make changes, but the answer is not, giving a smooth hand job to a genocidal regime as these idiots are doing. So this is so gross. Shout out to the British media. They did a great job here. One more thing, guys. One more thing that I wanted to add. Families of 9/11 victims outraged at U.S. LIV Golf players. So there are a bunch of groups that are the families of the 9/11 victims, and they basically told these players, look, we're not having it. You guys are terrible, and what you did is fucked up. So they say here, the chair of a September 11, 2001 attacks victims' families group says members are outraged by the betrayal of U.S. golfers playing in the Saudi-funded LIV Golf Invitational Series. The comments from Terry Strada, the widow of a 9/11 victim, were made in a public letter Friday to agents of such major champions as Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, and Patrick Reed. Now, DeChambeau and Patrick Reed didn't play in the first event, but there's reports they're going to play in the second event. Please rethink your membership in the Saudi enterprise, Strata wrote. We urge you to reconsider that you can stand with us and send a message to the kingdom. You cannot buy respect. You must earn it. All have been confirmed as signing with the Rebel Series, which offers the richest purses in golf history after departing the US PGA Tour. All are set to play in the upcoming US Open at the Country Club in Brookline, Massachusetts, which is organized by the US Golf Association. So let me explain that for a second. The major championships are not run by the PGA Tour. The U.S. Open is run by the USGA. The PGA Championship is run by the PGA of America, which is not the same as the PGA Tour. The RNA runs the British Open or the Open Championship. Augusta National runs the Masters. So these golfers have calculated, hey, since we're allowed to play in the majors still, because that's not the same as the PGA Tour, we'll just play the LIV Golf events and then play in the majors. So that's why they're going to be able to play the majors, and that makes it so there's no disincentive to play in the LIV Golf Tour, and that's a problem. Like, I wish the majors would get on board with the PGA Tour and say, look, you're banned from the majors if you play in this thing, but it doesn't look like they're going to do that, at least not yet. Where was I? Much to our disappointment, you appeared pleased to be in business with them. Given Saudi Arabia's role in the death of our loved ones and those injured on 9/11, your fellow Americans, we are angered that you are so willing to help the Saudis cover up this history in their request for respectability. Strada has been active in the group that has sued Saudi Arabia for complicity in the 9/11 attacks, in which almost 3,000 people died, something the Saudi government has denied. But Strada said U.S. golfers who opt to play in the new series have betrayed the victims' families. Please do not insult our loved ones' memories and take the pathetic position, as one of your foreign colleagues did last week, claiming you were just golfers playing a game, or blandly treating the evils of the Saudi regime as human rights concerns. You're all Americans keenly aware of the death and destruction of September 11th. When it was the appeal of millions of dollars of hard cash or just the opportunity to prosecute your professional grievances with the PGA, you have sold us out. Strada said no consideration should ever be made to allow LIV Golf players to represent the United States in the Ryder Cup. That is run by the PGA Tour. We understand that some of you are hopeful that rule changes will be implemented to allow you that allow you to again represent America in the Ryder Cup despite your betrayal of American interests in joining the Saudi sports wash, Strada wrote. So he or she goes on to say, look, you should be banned from the majors. And they make an appeal to the majors, like, ban these players. So, I don't know, man, but these guys gross me out, and I hope everybody stands strong and stays with the PGA Tour, because infinite money is hard to overcome, but, I mean, these people should have trouble sleeping at night, because they're taking money from people doing a genocide. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.